Yeah.
All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to get this meeting going. All right, today's Monday. The right one.
Tuesday.
Let me get the right one. Yeah, there we go. Today's Tuesday, June 13th, 2023, time's 9 a.m. Regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Here.
Richard Valley.
Here.
Doug Verboon.
Here.
Rusty Robinson.
Here.
Richard Fagundes.
Here. Thank you. 5 members present. Pastor Tyler Jones, Quantity of Church, will lead us in the invocation. If you please stand.
Good morning. Psalms 23 verses 4. Verses 4, it says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So, Lord, I just pray over this meeting. I pray over our supervisors today, Lord, that they know that we get to celebrate and just understand that, God, that you are with us. So would you be with our board this morning in every conversation and every decision, God, as they are making changes and they're making policies and all of the things for the sake of this county being in good hands, Lord. And we just thank you that you are with us this morning. And I pray that you would strengthen them, that you would give them peace this morning, that you would sound their minds, that any thoughts in their minds that make them feel unsure, God, that you would give them peace and clarity this morning. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hey, thank you, Pastor. Appreciate you. Ready? Pledge.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up is unscheduled appearances. Any person may address the board at this time on any item of the agenda or any other items of interest to the public that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Madam Clerk, do you have any speaker cards?
I do. I have no written correspondence, but Chase Nunez is our first speaker.
Chase Nunez. Morning, Chase.
Good morning. Good morning, Chairman Val and members of the Board of Supervisors. My name is Chase Nunes, and I will be a sophomore at Hanford High School in August. I have been asked to join the Greater Fresno Boys baseball team and accompany them to Japan this July and August for 3 weeks to play baseball. This will be the 39th annual World Baseball Boys Tournament, which will be held in Toyoshi, Japan. I am the only player from Kings County who's on this team, and various countries from around the world will participate in this one-of-a-kind tournament. The tournament will be held through August 9th through August 15th. Prior to the tournament, we will tour a few other cities and play friendship games, including an exhibition game in Mazda Stadium, home of the Hiroshima Carp. It will be a rewarding and educational experience, giving our players the opportunity to interact with the teams from other countries in competition, friendship, and cultural understanding. I'll be having a drive-through pulled pork dinner fundraiser this next Sunday, June 25th at the Leighton Lions Hall. Tickets are $20 each. If you'd like to make a tax-deductible contribution to the Greater Fresno Boys Baseball, I will leave dinner tickets and flyers with the clerk. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I would love and appreciate any support you may be able to give me. Thank you for the time. Thank you for time to consider me.
Hey, Chase, thanks for coming, man. What position do you play?
Everywhere they need me.
Uh-oh.
Universal. You got tickets on you now?
Yeah.
Universal all around.
And has tickets.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
You ever been to Japan before?
No.
All right. It's going to be a good time.
I hope so.
It's going to be a good time. How about we do this? Supervisor, you got something you want to say?
I'll buy 5 tickets.
Uh-oh, there's 5 tickets right there. Supervisor Verboon's start kicking off your fundraiser.
Thank you, sir.
There. Let me ask you this. You got Venmo or Zelle, or is there a GoFundMe?
I think there's a GoFundMe. There's definitely a Venmo.
Okay. How about we do this? Could someone take a picture and we'll invite Chase to the well? And then maybe we could put it on our county's social media with his fundraiser platforms on there, or at least post the flyer too, and help him get to Japan. Is that all right with everybody?
Yep.
Come on, Chase. Come stand in the middle. There's someone who can take a picture?
I hope you do better than that last guy. He only got enough money to go to Japan, not to get back.
So you got to be careful. Make sure you get enough funding. Yeah, they'll just give you a one-way trip. Good job.
Good luck, man. Who's your favorite baseball team?
Giants.
Giants. Cancel the fundraiser. We get a Dodgers kid in here.
Thank you.
Good luck, Chase.
Sorry. Our next speaker is Sarah Hacker.
DA Hacker. Morning, Madam DA. We're good. We're here.
So this morning, I'd like to start off with some great news. If this dais has been following the news, there was a massive gang bust last Thursday, June 8th, Operation Moving Out or Move In Out. This was a targeted gang wire where local law enforcement agencies, including the Sheriff's Department, Hanford Police Department, the California Highway Patrol, Department of Justice, and other related agencies like the FBI, had been involved in taking down gang violence and targeting gang crimes with the intention of not only solving prior crimes, but also interrupting the gangs within our county. There were 62 defendants that were arrested in relationship to this operation, 3 of which were people who had committed homicides, one of which was a cold case homicide that remained unsolved since 2016. We've also targeted human trafficking violators, money laundering, drug sales, and possession and sales of illegal weapons. This was a phenomenal success. Each and every law enforcement officer involved had done a phenomenal job working hard with dedication to make our county safe. But with that being said, law enforcement puts in the hard work. They get the bad guys, but the DA's office has to be there to prosecute those cases. And again, I'm here to ask this Board of Supervisors to reconsider the salaries that we are paying our DAs. We don't have enough DAs, and what we really want to do is create an environment within our office so that we can effectively prosecute these offenders that were taken down in Operation Moving Out. In addition to that, this council is also going to consider the ARPA funds and whether or not we should devote that money towards signing bonuses and retention bonuses. I'm asking this Board of Supervisors to agree to devote that money to that cause. And in addition to that, because we have this need with new defendants, 62 new cases, I am actively following through and looking for independent contractors, namely retired prosecutors who are looking for extra work. And I have found a few possible candidates, and eventually I'll be submitting a contract with county council, but I would ask the Board of Supervisors to also take this into consideration, because you may see me here in a few weeks, if all is good, that we will have a contract with an independent contractor who is a prosecutor of 20+ years. Thank you. I also have Maria Hoover present up here. She is the department head for Minors Advocate, and she also wanted to put in her 2 cents regarding the county's policies and recruiting attorneys.
Thank you. Morning.
Good morning. As Sarah said, I'm Maria Hoover from the Kings County Minors Advocate Office. I have been trying to hire another attorney for my office since December. I've only had 4 applicants. Only one of those was qualified and met the needs of my office. I am going to lose that person and not be able to hire them because of our pay structure here in the county. It's my understanding, and my office staff looked at Tulare County's starting pay for attorney ones. It is approximately $20,000 more than we are getting here in Kings County. The thing about the attorneys in my office, they are part of the prosecutors union, so what affects prosecutors affects us. Also, we get money back from the court for the indigent defense of the juvenile children in dependency. There is $791,000, $791,315 available from the courts. This year, with only 2 attorneys in the office, we will recover 610,000 of those dollars. If I was able to hire another attorney, I believe I could get back virtually all of that money from the courts. So that would pay for the extra attorney in itself, but I have to be able to hire an attorney. So I'm asking you to follow what Sarah is asking you to do. Increase the starting pay for attorneys and perhaps bonuses as well using those ARPA funds. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would also add that in Operation Moving Out, 3 of the suspects were juveniles, and 1 of those 3 was arrested for homicide. So it's a rare day where you have a prosecutor advocating for the defense, but if we are going to have a fair system of justice here in Kings County, then we need to have not only a rigorous prosecution, but also in turn, a rigorous defense. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Villa.
Our next speaker is Lupe Villa.
Morning, Mr. Villa.
Chairman, members of the board, Lupe Villa with the Elections Office. Just want to come and share with you guys, back April 2022, Kings County became what is known as a Voter Choice Act county, meaning we allow early voting for our electors in Kings County. Part of that process requires that we renew the plan. It's called Election Administration Plan. So that plan needs to go out for public comment. Public comment starts today. So any member of the public, including yourself, who wants to review that plan and submit their comments to the Elections Office are welcome to do so. The plan may be found at our website at votekingscounty.com. Again, it starts today. It's going to end on June 27th. And after that, we'll take the comments for consideration and make any changes if we need to. So I just want to put that out to you guys and to the public. Our EAP, Election Administration Plan, is open for public comment beginning today, ending June 27th. And that's all I have. If you guys have any questions for me.
Any questions for Mr. Villa? Thanks, sir. Appreciate the
Thank you.
information.
Hope you guys have a
Is
good
that
day.
something we could put on our website? Or our social media page?
So we did reach out to clerk and we asked that be put in the county's website and it's also in our website. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're more than welcome. We can share it with
If you
the
want to post,
public
just tell them to
information.
put on a post.
And it's shared with the county website, not the website, but the social media page, right?
Yep. We have it on our platforms as well. We have Twitter and Facebook and it's on our platforms.
Nice.
All right.
So it's not very active. And the reason I come out here is because
Yeah,
I
but
want
we
to
have a
hear from.
King County social page, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's
Supervisor.
what I'm talking about, not talking about your social,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the county.
Oh, yeah. So
social
we
media.
can share that with
They'll take care of it.
administration, yeah.
All right, thank you.
So I'm hoping that we engage the community and, some of the folks that have difficulties with the election process to reach out to us and we can address those issues now before 2024 gets here.
And the primaries in April, right?
March 5th,
March.
2024 is the primary, and then we have the November 5th general election.
All right. Thanks, sir.
You bet.
Okay. Anybody else?
That's the last speaker card, and it doesn't appear anyone online has their hand raised.
Okay. Anyone in the chambers before we move on? All right, seeing none. That will take us to approval of the minutes. Let's take up A and B, report out of closed sessions from the special meetings for June 5th and 6th, 2023. Council, you got anything?
I do. On June 5th, the Board of Supervisors voted to extend an offer of employment as County Administrative Officer to Kyria Martinez. Her appointment will be confirmed and her compensation set today by the board as part of the regular agenda item. On June 6th, the board took no reportable action.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion if there's no question or comments to approve as presented.
Thank you, Sue Verboen. All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Verboen, second by Fagundes. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Thank you. Items passed 5 in favor. We'll take up C and D, approval of the minutes from the special meetings for June 5th, 6th, 2023.
Move as presented, Mr. Chair, on both dates, June 5 and 6.
Thanks, sir. Motion by Nez, second by Verboen. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Item passes 5 in favor. Consent calendar has a number of items that are printed out on the agenda for the public. If there's no questions or comments from any of the board members, Chair will entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Fagundes, second by Verboen. Madam Clerk.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Consent passes 5 in favor. Thank you. Regular agenda items. First one is item A. It comes from our Human Resources Department. Good morning.
Morning, Chairman Valley and members of the board. Carolyn Lees, Human Resources Director. I am here today to confirm the appointment of Carrie Martinez to the position of County Administrative Officer effective June 12th, 2023, and set her compensation retroactively to that date. On March 31st, 2023, the past County Administrative Officer, Edward Hill, resigned from the position with the county, and the board directed staff to initiate the recruitment for the position. Upon completion of the recruitment and unanimous decision by the board, a conditional offer was extended to Carrie Martinez, who accepted the offer. Ms. Martinez holds a master's degree in public administration and began her career with the County of Kings as administrative analyst in the administration department in February 2017. Prior to that, Ms. Martinez worked for Tulare County and the private sector. Ms. Martinez also worked for the city of Tulare as the assistant finance director. However, she returned to Kings County in September 2020, wherein she was the assistant county administrative officer for almost 3 years. Ms. Martinez has been acting county administrative officer of Kings County since April 1st, 2023. Yesterday, she was sworn into the position of county administrative officer by Chairman Valley. It is recommended that the board confirm the appointment of Ms. Martinez to the position of County Administrative Officer effective June 12th, 2023, and set her compensation at $17,682 per month. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Appreciate that. To the board.
If there's no question or comments, I'll move it presented.
Second. Motion by Verboen, second by Robinson. Madam Clerk.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
And once again, congratulations, Carrie Martinez as our new CAO. It was a nice ceremony. All, for those of you who may not have been here yesterday, all the board was here yesterday. Carrie and Mr. Baker's swearing in, and their families were here. It was a very nice morning yesterday. So, congratulations. Anything you'd like to say?
I am actually really humbled by the outpouring support from everyone who's reached out, to even my college alumni has reached out to me. So it's been really humbling, going through this whole process and having the outpouring support. So I really appreciate it all. And I'm excited to work with you. I'm very excited for, the things to come to Kings County. And lastly, I'd like to thank the board for the vote of confidence. I really appreciate it. And it won't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you and good luck. All right, so that takes us to item B. Comes from administration. We'll be presenting.
So now it's my turn too. So on March 10th, 2023, the chief probation officer position was vacated and the board directed staff to initiate recruitment to fill the vacant position. The process has been completed and it's recommended that the board set the compensation for the newly appointed chief probation officer, Mr. Leonard Baker, effective date of Monday, June 12th, and set the salary compensation recommended at $12,999 per month. The salary and benefits will be paid out of the probation budget unit. And at this time, the recommendation to confirm the appointment of Leonard Baker to the position of chief probation officer effective June 12th, 2023, and set the compensation retroactively to that date.
Thank you. Questions or comments from the board? Motion by Robinson,
Second.
second by Verboen. Madam Clerk.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 5 in favor. Mr. Baker, is there anything you'd like to say? And congratulations to you, sir.
Appreciate that. I want to thank the board, allowing me, it's a privilege to be the chief, to lead a great department, continuing the good work of probation. I look forward to working with each of you and the administration and all their staff. So I thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Congratulations to you. Let's welcome. All right. Item 2 also comes from administration. Carrie, would you like to present? Or Matthew? Hey, Matthew snuck up on me.
Sorry, good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Matthew Boyette, Kings County Administration. So before your board this morning is another notice of land acquisition application with the Department of the Interior for some more land that the tribe owns that they are requesting be placed in trust with the federal government. The proposal before you this morning is for 370.28 acres. So as has been with the last couple of applications before your board this year, the Department of the Interior surveys the local governments to see what the impacts would be of removing this from the county rolls. So the 370.28 acres are contiguous with other in-trust property owned by the tribe. As you could, it's going to be south of the hotel and casino area. It's if you look at the projector there, it's in the light pink there. It's on the north side of Kansas Avenue, the west side of 17th Avenue, and the south side of Kent Avenue. So a particular note here is that the land in question this morning is not contiguous with the main parcels of the hotel and casino. However, it is contiguous with other in-trust land. So for the 2022-2023 tax year, the parcels in question have a property tax roll of $34,905, of which $3,655 of that are direct assessments for the South Fork Kings Groundwater Sustainability Agency. Your board took action on February 28th and May 23rd on similar requests from the tribe to have land placed in trust, for which your board sent supporting letters to the Department of the Interior for those. So why I have the map up for you this morning is just wanted to point out, so all of the stuff in the orange/yellow color on the right-hand side of the map, that is already land that is placed in trust with the federal government. Everything in the light blue in the northwest quadrant there, that is what was previously supported the last time I was before your board. So the pink area there on the bottom section, that's what is before your board this morning. And why I have this map here is if everything that was submitted to the Department of the Interior previously, and if the application before your board this morning, if those are all approved by the Department of the Interior, you can see it'll create a 3-parcel, 201-acre privately owned island there, fully surrounded by in-trust land that is under the control of the county. So if all of the land applications go through, it could potentially cause some complications for the private landowners there and complications for the county in the future. So just wanted to kind of highlight that for you to kind of paint the picture. So with that, just looking for direction from your board as to how we want to respond to the Department of the Interior on this particular in-trust land application. The land in question, the tribe is proposing to use for agricultural purposes. So that concludes my report.
Got it. Thank you, Ms. Boyette. Any
Yes, sir.
questions or comments from the board? Steve Robinson.
Is it customary to formally put easements in place, or what's the custom?
I am not the guy to answer that. I don't know if you know that, Chuck, or sorry to put you on the spot.
Chuck Kinney, Kings County Community Development Agency. There are currently roads which we have public right-of-way access along in that area, that the parcels that would be completely surrounded by the in-trust land would still have access to their properties using the public right-of-ways. The county is not looking to abandon any of our right-of-ways, but Public Works, I'm not sure if they would be considering once the land is in trust, whether they would require the tribe to maintain that portion of the right-of-way.
So those are the complications that you're saying are potential?
Correct, yeah.
And are the landowners aware of what's going on? I would assume they are.
I don't have any confirmation that they've been notified by the tribe.
Either do I. I'm not sure. the notice of entrust application only comes to the local governments and local jurisdictions there. It doesn't, at least not the ones that they say have been CC'd on that letter. Their landowners aren't on there.
Has this gone through LAFCO yet?
This will not go through LAFCO as it goes through the federal government for the tribe.
Okay, but the blue one we did, right, through LAFCO?
No.
No?
It came before your body to be able to give comments to the federal government as to whether or not there are any concerns or issues that could arise. And so that's what's coming before you today for consideration, to be able to give comments back to the federal government if you have any concerns with this being put into trust.
Yeah, I would feel better if I was a landowner, if someone would talk to me first, so I would be aware of what's happening around me. Just like if someone building a building or something, you give notice in the mail. So I'm gonna make a motion, maybe we table it until the landowners are notified. Is that something?
Is there,
Owners,
what
So-
is the timeframe for?
The timeframe in which comments are considered by the Department of the Interior is 30 days from receipt of the application. So depending on how long it takes to kind of notify the landowners and then come back before your board for some sort of response, that timeframe could, be out at that point. And whether the Department of the Interior wants to entertain any comments received after the 30 days or not, it's probably up to the discretion of the Department of the Interior, I'm assuming.
okay. So we're not the last and final here, so.
They're just soliciting comment, and the ultimate decision lives with the Department of the Interior, so.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you withdraw your motion?
Yeah, withdraw my motion.
Okay. Questions or comments?
Yeah, I think the only thing, Mr. Chair, and there is a contract that is with Jacobs Water Company, just to make sure that those easements and are transferable and remain intact. And it doesn't have the same language that we did when we annexed the other parcels. So if we can kind of compare to see what we did, that other larger, I don't want to say annexation, but transfer of title, to make sure, because it talks about executed by Jacob Water, but it doesn't really say where it retains its rights. Do we know if that's for sure?
We don't know for sure, but if you would like to add that as one of your comments going back to the Department of the Interior.
Yeah,
As-
because especially with that island being created, we need to really make sure that we keep the rights and easements. And they talk about navigation and fisheries, but they don't talk about irrigation or water.
Correct.
So we need to either expand that section 8 or add a new one compared to addressing the irrigation and flood control.
Ensuring that all the existing rights transfer through and remain.
Correct. So that we don't create an island.
Mhm.
And that goes for, traffic and everything else. I know the tribe, from time to time has talked about trying to limit access down 17th as well. So we probably need to address that, as well.
I would agree.
Yeah. And then I don't know, as a board, I don't remember where the power lines are on Kent, but, we probably need to maintain the utility easements as well.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, your recommendation then to staff would be to provide a comment maintaining existing utility and rights of ways that allow for transportation, utilities, and irrigation water and floodwaters through those areas.
Correct. Yeah, so that we don't create an island that will be substantially surrounded. So we want to make sure that those landowners have access to all utilities, all utilities.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay. Shall I entertain a motion?
But moved as explained.
Nev seconds.
Motion by Verboen, second by Nevs. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
All right.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
All right, I'm past 5 in favor. Thank you. Good work. Okay, so item 3, let's take this up so we can keep this next one neat. Not, we're going to take this up in a couple of votes. So, CAO.
So the county received approximately 29.7 million of the American Rescue Plan Act funds, which was signed into law by President Biden on March 2021. The bill is intended and includes 65.1 billion in direct flexible aid to every county in America. The funds are intended to provide support in responding to the impacts of COVID-19 and their efforts to contain COVID-19 in the communities amongst residents and businesses. Last week, we presented items recommended from the ARPA committee, and the item was tabled. At this time, we are presenting 11 items recommended to be approved in the proposed amount of $1,706,715. Those projects are as followed. $64,700 for the sheriff's camera license plate video audio detection system, $700,000 for the behavioral health Cohen's Veterans Clinic, $140,000 for digital evidence storage for the sheriff's department, $300,000 for agenda software for the clerk of the board administration, $618,000 for COVID administrative associated costs, $30,000 for the Burrs Park Wagon Museum air conditioning unit, $50,000 for a public works online portal permitting and reservation system, $16,000 for the installation of new doors access system at the job training office, $20,000 for rewiring of software capacity improvements at the job training office, $135,397 for fire department's computer aid dispatch, $50,000 for Stratford Public Utility District for a water storage project. Additionally, administration is recommending using 6 million of the American Rescue Plan Act funding for employee retention and hiring incentive. The intent would be to provide an incentive to encourage employee retention and carry that through fiscal year 23-24, when the county should have the recommendations from the compensation study. These incentives would represent a one-time allocation, meaning they would not be a recurring expense for the county. Administration and human resources would work together to develop a criteria to best meet the county's need. If the board approves the proposed recommendation, there would be approximately 3 million to be allocated at a future board date. Staff is recommending additional time to follow up on already funded projects and do a thorough analysis, as some projects that have previously been funded might not need the original amount allocated previously. Approximately 20 million have been obligated. At this time, we are recommending to authorize the American Rescue Plan Act funding amount of $1,706,715 for proposed projects from the ARPA committee. Authorize the use of 6 million for the American Rescue Plan Act funding for employee retention and hiring incentives. Authorize withholding any remaining allocated American Rescue Plan Act funding in the amount of $3,015,344 until a future board date. And lastly, adopt the budget change. 4/5 vote is required.
Okay. Thank you. Let's do this. Let's take up item A separately. Is there any board members that wish to discuss any projects that aren't on the list today? Or is there a motion to pass as is on the 1.7 million?
I'm good with the 1.7. So
Got a
Nev
motion?
moves.
Motion by Nez,
Second.
second by Verboen. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
Aye, yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I do want to see this $30,000 air conditioner for Burrs Park.
It better be able to hang meat in there, huh?
Better work when I go out there.
Okay. Item B, I want to take this one up separate because I think there may be some folks who want to talk about it. If not, that's okay. But I think we need to clean up that 6 million allotment right there. But good work on that last Tuesday, that item was at what, 495,000? Today it's at 6 million. And I think that sends a positive direction to folks, especially our public safety leaders who are having these challenges on recruiting and retention. And so if this passes, I think this is major. So is there anyone that wish to comment on this before we take it up by the board? Okay. Hey. Good morning, Ms. Ferrier.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chairman and Supervisors. I just want to take a quick moment and thank the board and Curie Martinez and her staff for allocating the $6 million of ARPA funding for recruitment and retention. The county promotes its workers as family, and this will go a long way to fulfill that. Recruitment and especially retention have plagued public safety in Kings County. This influx of money, I believe, will really help to curb that. The importance of being fully staffed in public safety with tenured employees was really on full display last week during Operation Moving Out, as our DA mentioned earlier. Dozens of dangerous criminals and guns were taken off the streets. This event took the sheriff's office operations and jail staff to make it a success. And now these cases are in the hands of the district attorney's office for prosecution. So public safety works hand in hand. We're all intertwined, and it's important for all sectors of public safety to be fully staffed and well equipped. In order to keep the citizens safe and keep crime low in Kings County, it's imperative that we keep our long-term employees and encourage our employees to stay in Kings County. I know personally the board supports public safety, and I appreciate each of you and your commitment to public safety employees in Kings County. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Is there anyone else? Morning, Chief.
Chairman, Bill Lynch, Kings County Fire Department. I just want to take the opportunity to thank you and your board for the continued support, not only to public safety, but to all the departments within the county. We don't get anything done without our employees, and making a difference for them is truly the key that you gentlemen hold. So I want to thank you very much for this consideration using this money. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Morning, Madam DA.
I want to thank this board also for being very receptive to some of the issues that have been presented to it. I would like to really emphasize the fact that right now I have 23 spaces open for attorneys. At this point in time, I have 14 attorneys actively working in the office going to court. We have been gutted due to the competition that occurs between us and other counties, and these other counties are beating us out. I had sent an email to county council and to your chief administrative officer on San Joaquin Valley College of Law's website, where they have a video showing that there are not enough attorneys here in the Central Valley. In particular, DA's offices and public defender's offices have taken the greatest hit. This is in part because there's a low amount of people applying for law school. There's a low amount of people graduating from law school. And of those people that want to get out of law school, there's been a culture of teleworking from home 100%, which is not a job that I can offer my employees because we require people to go to court in person every day. And that means that we have to be competitive and we have to pay people what the market rate is because there just isn't enough attorneys out there. And what I don't want is to have law enforcement commit all of these resources and effort and dedication on hard work to taking down 62 gang members and their affiliates, and our prosecutor's office not being able to meet that need. So again, I ask you to really seriously consider using these ARPA funds to make Kings County competitive so that we can draw good talent into this county and keep it here. Because independent contractors are good for the short term, but they are not going to be coming to this county. They are not going to be members of this county. They are not going to be dedicated to the public safety like somebody who is living here, working here, and integrated here. So thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Anybody else? Madam CEO, so the plan moving forward is you'll work with some of those public safety leaders to find out what those numbers are as far as was 10K or 15K on a recruitment bonus, and and retention, an outline of amounts for retention. And will this be a plan that comes back before the board, or you just going to take this direction, this authorization, and go hammer that out? And is there meet and confers with the unions and associations involved that too? If you could just publicly explain that.
So currently, myself and HR are trying to develop a criteria that we would use to allocate those funds. So we are thinking of doing half and half, 3 million to retention and 3 million to hiring incentives. That criteria is being developed currently, and we are trying to identify the positions that are most needed for recruitment and then start from there, as those would be their basis to go off on doing some hiring incentives. If your board would like, I could bring back the item to show what we are doing in those, but it does require meet and confer.
Mhm. And then obviously that, the rest of that plan is, hey, this, as far as recruiting bonuses, this is one-time money. Hopefully we get you to Kings County. But this isn't money going forward on payroll, right? Because we can't do this. This is going to be gone. So that's all going to be outlined in your strategic plan.
Correct. Yes, this is one-time funds, and if your board takes action to allow us more time, we can see if there is other additional funds that we can increase that 3 million to see if we can, your board has flexibility to increase the 6 million to what your board would like in the future.
Did you want to say something, Super? I just got one more question. So if we don't have any real numbers yet, and I know this is moving quick just from last week, like I said, from 495,000 to 6 million. And again, great work there. But if we don't have real numbers to say that, this might be a $4 million need versus 6. And if it's 6, that's fine. But what I'm trying to get to is, I think in the talk last week too, and I could be wrong, or the board might want to go a different direction. We not only talked about the retention pays and the recruitment pay. I think there was we touched on all our dedicated county employees, and to look at what some numbers on what it would be. And I don't know what you labeled it last time when it was 800,000 payout at $500 per employee, right? To see if that fits in to this 6 million. Did you take that?
Yes, so we do have enough funds to do a one-time funds for the entire county as well.
Do you have the math on at 500 or at 1,000 each?
It would just be like 1.7 million.
For at 1,000 each, a 1.7 on that? Or 500 is like 900.
Yep, that's how much it was about last time. About it.
Do you need direction from the board right now on at 5 or 1,000?
That is to your board's discretion. We do recommend to allow us time to develop that criteria. This is more, we're asking the authority to have that starting point. Now we know we have 6 million, we can work backwards with it, but now we have an allocation.
Perfect. That's what I want to clear up. Anyone have anything before we take up motion for item B?
Nope. Move is discussed.
Motion by Verboen, second by Robinson. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
All right, item passes 5 in favor. Good work, everybody, on that, and good work to the board, supervisors and staff on that, and to our public safety leaders. Okay, so then the last one is the 3 million motion to, you're gonna put that just in a savings for right now?
We're just not going to allocate it.
Just not gonna,
Yeah,
just
just
keep
not
it to the
gonna.
side. Okay, so how about we take up C and D, with D being the motion, going back to the other 2 items we just passed because they require a 4/5 vote on the budget. Cheryl, entertain a motion. Motion by Robinson,
Second.
second by Nez. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
All right, thank you. Good work, Madam CEO. Thank you. All right, that takes us to board member announcements, and we'll start with Supervisor John Hatt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Continue to talk about water. The 2023 May Move Challenge took place between Child Support and Job Training. And they held their awards event last Tuesday, the 6th. There were 42 participants from the two departments and a total of 11,641,345 steps. And if you figure 2,000 steps to the mile, that was 5,820 miles or 4.6 miles per person per day. And that's pretty amazing. Child support staff had 29 participants. Each, the child support staff accumulated 7,821,629 total steps, or 275,848 steps per person per month, or an average of 8,898 steps per day. Job training office had 13 walkers, total of 3,819,716, or 293,000 steps per person for the month, or an average of 947,000 steps per day per person. So the job training office won the competition. They won a beautiful trophy. They won a dozen donuts, or I think it was more than donuts. But I think really both offices did just an outstanding job with the May Move Challenge. Each participant averaged more than 4 miles a day. And so I think the staff members really did a great job. And I tip my hats to them because I have a hard time getting 400 steps, much less 4 miles. So I want to thank them for that. The first 5 meeting was also held on June 6th. The budget was approved. The election, Dr. Lisa Lewis, if you haven't been told, you're the incoming chair, just to let you know. And Wendy will be your backup. So yeah, good luck with that. And then we also heard from the Recreation Association of Corcoran and the Corcoran Family Resource Center. On June 7th, I traveled to Fresno to attend the Public Policy Committee meeting for the quarter. There currently is 437,493 members that remain enrolled in the Medi-Cal Managed Care program for the region. 47,408 of those are Kings County residents. And the committee heard all the audits and compliance reports and health education work plans. And I think that's the key difference between what Calviva does, and that's the case management part of it. Also attended 3 hours of Kings County hazardous mitigation planning process. And I think that's process is pretty close on Chief. We only have a couple more, and that should be wrapping up and coming to this board for approval. On Friday, the Corcoran and Tulare Lake tours took place. We visited the park in Corcoran, as well as a couple of key areas around the Tulare Lake, and we want to thank CART for the bus and the Sheriff's Department. They got to lead the parade instead of chasing that whole group. Sometimes they chasing them, but they had the pleasure of leading that group around, and certainly want to thank them for that. And then on Sunday, June 11th, the Portuguese Consulate General from San Francisco was in Hanford and visited the Carnegie Museum for the reception. A lot of great food, desserts, and a few adult beverages served at that event. And certainly want to thank everybody that put that together. This is the second phase of the presentation at the Carnegie. There'll be one more, I think, in August or September. But if you have a chance to go through, this is the one that covers the Portuguese celebrations and a lot of the religious events, First Communion, and some of the church connections. So with that, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Supervisor Nez. Supervisor Fernandez, anything?
Thank you, sir. Just a few meetings, regular meetings and phone calls and average.
Doing your thing. Good work, sir. Supervisor Verben.
Nothing to add at this time. Thank you.
Sir, Supervisor Robinson.
I attended to the JTO and Child Support Services Awards Ceremony, and congratulations to JTO Congrats to Jay and Julieta. Also toured the Corcoran Levy, Stratford Levy. Got a chance to see Supervisor Nev's childhood home over there. Didn't get to tour that one yet, though. So met with Wendy Oscafa regarding homeless issues. Also got to tour the newly renovated old hospital building. So good luck to the new tenants. I think you guys are getting in there soon. Behavioral health and human services. You're lucky. You have an old building with all the new amenities. I have an old building with old amenities, and this is much better. It's beautiful. What an icon for Kings County.
Thanks, Supervisor Robinson. I just want to put out last Thursday, spent a couple hours in Avenel with Mayor Preciado, who's in the chambers here today as well. Welcome, Mayor. And City Manager Anthony Lopez. I think he just stepped out. We went out on the southwest side of Avenel out there and had a talk with Chuck and Carol from Chriscom Company as well. And just listened to some of the visions that the mayor and the council and the city have out there on the southwest side of Avenel, and also on the to the east, the northeast there, on some of that land there, just right off the I-5 and the Avenel cutoff. And so I enjoy working with them and hope we can get to those visions that you have there, sir. And working the need to reach out to Fresno County in regards to allowing Avenel to get on just a little bit of that land there just outside the our county line there. And it's an area where I know public safety will tell you with that truck stop being there and technically on Fresno County, it's our first responders and Kings County folks who are first on site there and do a lot of that support there while Fresno County rakes in that tax revenue there. And so hopefully we could work with them and see about Avenel doing some development just outside. We're talking feet, right, Mayor? Just outside that Kings County line. So appreciate you, sir, and I hope your rodeo went well on Sunday. With that, Madam CAO.
So your board received an application dated May 12, 2023 from the California High-Speed Rail Authority to construct 4 proposed high-speed rail tracks. Additionally, your board received in correspondence a notice of water right application from the State Water Resources Control Board on June 6th. And your board received a Prop 65 hazardous materials release report dated June 7th from the Kings County Department of Public Health. And lastly, your board received correspondence from the State Board of Equalization dated June 6th regarding the 2023 Taxpayers Bill of Right hearing to be held August 29th. For upcoming events, the Children's Storybook Garden Museum will host a 3 Wednesday in a row cooking for kids class on June 14th, 21st, and 28th from 10 to noon. Cost is $60 for grades K through 5th, must be registered, and space is limited to 20 students. The 76th Annual Kings Fair will take place in Hanford this week, starting June 15th through the 18th. This year's theme is agricultural, all that jazz. All of the board members have been invited to a press conference at the fairgrounds on June 15th at 11 a.m. The Department Secretary Michael Flores will be announcing the first round of funds he is releasing throughout the state, and Kings Fairgrounds is receiving $3.5 million. There will be a Hanford Water Town Hall at the Hanford Civic Auditorium on June 16th, this Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. with featured guest speakers will include Supervisor Doug Verboon with various other panel members. Admission is free through registration at Eventbrite. The Kings County Library will be hosting a parenting strategy seminar taught by a retired school resource officer on Saturday, June 17th from 2 to 3:30 at the Hanford Branch Library. And lastly, there will be a Kings County Employee Blood Drive on Thursday, July 13th from 9 to 1. This is open to the public. Buses will be here on campus at the Old Sheriff's Old Parking Lot. Walk-ins are welcome. However, for faster registration, we recommend scheduling on the line. We still have slots open, approximately 27. And my apologies, lastly, save the date for the ribbon cutting of the Kings building on August 30th from 9 to 1. For upcoming agenda items, administration has 4. We have a 4th amendment to some ICS contract, Kettleman City Community Service District Surface Water Treatment Plant funding request, and a scope of work for an audit of county records of the California Department of Water Resources regarding Kings County State Water contract. Behavioral health has 6 items, a few agreements with California Health Collaborative, agreement with Champions, agreement with Mental Health Systems for the Act, agreement for the California Health Facilities Finance Authority, and agreements with Kingsview for electronic health record system. Council has an item for the renewal of the local emergency due to flood conditions in Kings County, and the DA has 2 items, one for a grant witness assistance program and a suspension of a personnel rule. Finance has 3 items regarding requests of the end-year budget transfers and booking fee rate. Health has 4 items in regards to agreement with Dr. Milton Teskey and some grants and advanced step hires. Public Works has 2 items, a bridge replacement preventive maintenance program, phase 2. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, that just leaves us with closed session. There's 3 items listed on the agenda. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Stand adjourned.